Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back. It is exactly 5 after 9 o'clock this Monday morning. We are now going to be looking at another bad and sad news story, this time around playing out in Afghanistan, where we understand that an earthquake has claimed the lives of over 2,000 people and scores of people have been injured. Let's understand what exactly is the situation on the ground in Afghanistan. We'll be talking with chairperson at Humanitarian Assistance Society in Afghanistan. That is Dr. Mohammed Haroon Khatibi. Assalamu alaikum to you. Welcome to the program.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So very sorry to hear about this earthquake and the fatalities that are being reported.
Yeah, it is really very sad. First of all, let me just congratulate the Muslim Ummah for the victory of our Muslim brothers, Hamas, those who are fighting for the freedom of Al-Aqsa in Palestine. And I make dua for the martyrs of Hamas and the martyrs of this earthquake in Afghanistan, which took the life of almost 2,500 till now. The total is 2,500 people who are who are discovered dead, and more than that number of people are injured in Afghanistan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept their shahada. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept them as shuhada and raise them with the shuhada of Badr, inshallah ta'ala.
Ameen, Ameen, Thumma Ameen. Let's understand which region was impacted by this earthquake. And this is the second earthquake in recent times in Afghanistan. Am I correct?
Yes, that is true. This region is the southern region of Afghanistan, exactly the Herat province, the province of Awliya is called, and also the neighboring province, Ghor and Farah. But the central area of this earthquake was the district of Zindajan, which has got almost 15 villages. From those villages, 3 of them, they are completely destroyed. The only survivors of those people, those who were not at home. This incident happened during the daytime at about noontime, 11:30 or noontime in Afghanistan. And only the people, those who are working, the male members of the family, those who are working outside, they were survived from this incident. The others, the children, and we have got very few. Actually, the area is a remote area. The roads and the infrastructures are not very well. To get there was also something hard and difficult. But Alhamdulillah, the people of Herat, even from other provinces, the people, they reaching there to help. But the houses were almost, this was the olden, like mud houses, all is destroyed. I think, I'm sure you have got some of the pictures which shows that destruction. And please make dua and that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us to rescue those who are still alive under the rebels.
Dr. Khatibi, in a situation like this, you have indicated it's a very remote area of Afghanistan, and also the structures where the people are living in are very old mud structures. When help is forthcoming, which will be, inshallah, not only from the government, the Taliban government, but outside help, international aid. How do they rebuild villages like this again? And does it in fact happen?
The help, we have got some promises from the neighboring countries. and from Turkey, but still on the ground is only the local NGOs and the local the government, which unfortunately, as you know, the situation in Afghanistan, we don't have still the government also doesn't have enough things to help the people. But at least what they have with the list of, at least they are offering some help. And the people are there, many people, but unfortunately, with only a spade or something, they're trying to take out the things, which doesn't help. And only the thing is a very primary tools they are trying to help. But what can we do? That is the situation there. There were some promises from Pakistan and from Iran and from Turkey, but so far on the ground they are not there. I'm
As
sure,
yet.
inshallah, they will help. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
We do know that the Western world has literally turned its back on Afghanistan since America pulled out their troops from Afghanistan, being there for over 20 years. And the Western world really are not interested in Afghanistan because they're not happy with the Taliban having taken over again. What do you believe needs to change for the Western world to start engaging with the Taliban government and for things to start normalizing in Afghanistan, in Afghanistan, inshallah?
Uh, Actually, my sister, the Western world, they have got their own agenda. And even in this kind of humanitarian situation, I think as a human, the whole Western world and the world, they should come forward and help. With today's time, they can do a lot. But still, like the WFO is in Afghanistan, they say, okay, we only if you allow our female members, the staff, to come in, and then they are pressurizing the government. But anyhow, I think that would be easy for the government to accept that condition. But what I say, it is the time for the humanity to come in as human and help. Do whatever you do. Put your political agenda aside. And the Western world, unfortunately, they are pressurizing. They are taking any advantage. I'm sure there might be some people who are happy about what happened there in that Muslim corner in Afghanistan and Herat. There are some people, I'm sure, they are happy about that. But inshallah ta'ala, we do our best and we are hopeful about our Muslim world. Alhamdulillah, the Muslim Ummah all over the world, they have got, at least they help us with their du'as, and they will reach out to Afghanistan as they have done in the past. And the people themselves, Alhamdulillah, there is, we can see, I could see, I was, although I'm in South Africa at the moment, but as my organization and some other NGOs there on the ground, they send me some of the videos. I can see the people, those who don't have anything, they want to help, and they give, they share their bread, piece of bread. They want to share it with the other people. So at this time, we need, besides that emergency aid to the area there, we need help with the doctors and medical aid for Afghanistan. There are about, yesterday, last night, they told me over 1,200 orthopedic injuries in the hospital, admitted in the Herat hospital. So these are the things we need. We are looking forward for the people to come and help there. inshallah ta'ala. And from the Muslim Ummah, we are very hopeful, inshallah, they will be there and they will help and they make their du'as. And alhamdulillah ala kulli hal.
Ameen. We do know that there's a very strong anti-Islam sentiment all around the world, particularly in the Western world. Based on that, are you hopeful that you would get possibly organizations like Doctors Without Borders wanting to come into Afghanistan to come and give the necessary assistance? Because they do talk about humanitarian work, and humanitarian work doesn't see color at all. You are a human being, period. They don't look at color, creed, or religion. Are you hopeful they might come in to help the people of
Yeah,
Afghanistan?
we are hopeful of that. Previously, doctors worldwide, also from Turkey, they were in Herat, even in this district of Zindajan. They had some good operations for the cataracts and those things. And they are familiar, and our brothers and sisters from some organization from Malaysia. They were already in these areas, which now the earthquake happened, and I know they were there, and they implemented some projects, the water projects and those things. And I'm hopeful that doctors worldwide and doctors, the other doctors organization, FEMA, Federation of Islamic Medical Association, they must move and come to Afghanistan and help. Inshallah, there is lots of casualties in the scene of. I'm sure till now we didn't get out every body out. The toll of casualty will raise. So we need our brothers from Muslim world to come and help.
Inshallah. Let me just digress a bit and, ask you one or two political questions. We do know that when the Taliban took over, America and the IMF held back, would not release the monies, Afghanistan's money and gold reserves that they were holding. And at that time, I think the whole world realized that if the money and the gold reserves were released into the custody of the Taliban, because it is the money of the Afghani people, that infrastructure and development would be speeded up in a very big way. Do you know if the monies have been released, or are there very specific agendas and conditions attached to the money being given back to their rightful owners, and that is the people of Afghanistan?
Yeah, of course, that will help a lot. That reserve money is for the banks. The reserve banks asset is frozen in America and Europe, plus minus 10 billion dollars. That would help a lot. Now the banks doesn't function properly in Afghanistan. If that money was released, that is a thing that the interbank functions would be easy for Afghanistan. That would help the economy of which is unfortunately we are living in a very bad situation economically. Our the poverty is grooming in Afghanistan. So that money belongs to the people of Afghanistan. It doesn't belong to any regime. Taliban regime, the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan now, or the previous regime, that money doesn't belong to a person or a regime or few people. That money belongs to Afghan people. So the America and Europe, they should release that reserve money. That we could, of course, there is some good project. There is some good project is going on there, and it would help if we get the money for the release. And they should release Many.
Inshallah, inshallah. We also hear that, as you've indicated, the Western world does have their own agenda, and with any and every discussion that might be on the table between Afghanistan and the Western world, whatever the issues might be, particularly the issue around women and women's rights and education, it seems as if the West holds a sword over the heads of the Taliban. That's one of the conditions that is on the table regarding releasing of some of the funds. Your thoughts on that matter? Do you believe that if we allow our girl children in Afghanistan to be educated and be economically active, that we can then rehabilitate Afghanistan to its full glory?
Yeah, that is something irrespective of the others' conditions. We need that one. Afghan people, in the history, our female, the population of Afghanistan, always they stood with the big issues in Afghanistan. They stood with the development, even during the jihad against the Soviet Union, which I was also involved there. Our sisters, they were by us. They stood by us, and also during this jihad against the NATO and Americans, the females, they were very active. I don't know why all of a sudden they are on a very small portion of the new government. They have got their some traditional background. They against that thing, and they are not allowing our females to be educated. But we need the education. Any society, any community, any country, if you stop the female from education, from work, you're stopping half of the society. But even more in Afghanistan, the female, they are more than male numbers. So that's why we need our children to be educated. We need our sisters to be educated. The mothers, they are very active in Afghanistan. They should be. We should utilize their potentials. We should utilize them to come and build Afghanistan together. Afghanistan is the home for all Afghans. And these mothers and these sisters, those who stood all over, and it wouldn't be possible to defeat America and NATO without support of our sisters. So how can we sideline now our sisters and our female? That is a loss for not for the regime only, but for the nation. Everybody, we are losing on that issue. We need our female to be educated, and they are very talented female in Afghanistan. Alhamdulillah, in the history we have got Rabia Balkhia, and we have got lots of females, those who are well versed with Islam, and they educated their children. I think Sayyid Jamaluddin Afghani, he was not born out of nowhere. Of course, a mother raised Sayyid Jamaluddin Afghani, who has got a good hand behind all this Islamic revival in this time. And the same thing, the people who stood against all these colonialist powers, they were born from the females, and the females, they raised them and they trained them and they looked after them. So that is our need. Not, we don't need the condition from the from Western world or from any other people. In fact, in Taliban, there are many people. Majority of Taliban, they are pro female education. Only a very small number, which they are maybe the old Taliban, or we say on the top of the thing, they have got some differences. Of course, they might have their own reasons, they look at some remote areas, like one person was saying, if you go in a very remote area and ask them if they will allow their daughters to be educated. But that is not something. This, the ulama, in fact, the leadership of the Taliban, they are ulama, they understand this issue. The ulama of the International Islamic Union of the Muslim world, they came to Afghanistan. Everybody, the ulama, they come from time to time and they ask them to please. This is an excuse which the Western world, they are using against you. But let them the female education. Of course, the government of Afghanistan, the Emirates of Afghanistan, they say we are working on the issue. But at least 2 years is too much, I think, for to restart
Okay.
that thing.
It's very refreshing to hear your views regarding females, the girl child and females' access to education and to help rebuild Afghanistan, because that, I do believe, is the potential in the country of Afghanistan. I think once that door is opened, you will see your country truly flourishing, inshallah.
Yes.
Dr. Khatibi, it's been wonderful talking with you. Dr. Mohammed Harun Khatibi, Chairman at Humanitarian Assistance Society of Afghanistan. Our du'as are with you and all of your people that has been struck by these natural disasters. Allah make it easy for one and all, inshallah. And in the same tone, we also continue our ongoing heartfelt du'as for our brothers and sisters in Palestine. Go well, keep us in your du'as, and assalamu alaikum to you.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you. Jazakumullah khairan for this interview.
It is exactly 9:27. News and views on Salam Media. Lots more coming your way, inshallah. And we do hope that you've enjoyed the interviews up to now. Let's go for an ad break, and then we will be meeting our next guest for this part of the interview. And this also is a focus, a very huge focus on education regarding us as Muslims, and how we, if properly educated, can truly touch the world in so very many different ways, inshallah.